Good morning from Jerusalem. Beautiful sunrise coming here. Our faithful sun every day. After this feast of bells on this glorious Sunday morning. And for all the Christian folks here, we're just 200 yards away from the Holy Sepulchre, right here in front of us. You can see the Franciscan Tower, and then at a lower level, a same size Lutheran Tower, and just immediately left a little bit towards the center, but not the center, is the dome of the Holy Sepulchre. The big dome here in front is above the empty tomb of Jesus. Today is Sunday morning, and so each Sunday we celebrate the resurrection, and we're doing it in Jerusalem today. And you're along with us, so welcome. And I know all of you who are not Christian also rejoice that we can rejoice, because we all care for each other. And here we're looking at the Mount of Olives, and the sun is rising here. So we need the light of the sun, and work starts getting back to usual here because Shabbat is over. It's the first day of the week, and that's when people start moving into work again. Still a little early. Just was ringing 6:15 in the morning, and so the traffic would definitely be increasing as the minutes roll by. People getting ahead of the heavier traffic, you know. There's Augusta Victoria of the German Lutheran Church, World Lutheran Federation. A wonderful cancer center for treatment of people in the West Bank and the Palestinian territories. And there we have Hebrew University, the tower in the center of the screen right now. And a view towards the north of Jerusalem, and Bethanina and Ramallah. Here we have our own Notre Dame, which has such history, almost 140 years serving pilgrims here in the Holy Land. Major project of French Christians back in the day, who brought 500 people at a time, and they were all able to sleep here. Can you imagine? Obviously shared dorms, shared bathrooms. And here comes the light rail, because it's work again. There was no train yesterday. Imagine. That's the way Shabbat is taken so seriously here. So our readings today are very interesting. I have to tell you a little story. There is a lady I know, and a Jewish lady, and she was atheist when she got married. And there was genuine, authentic love between them. Her husband is a very practicing Orthodox Jewish man. And they agreed to have great respect for each other's spaces, no pressures applied. And recently I learned that this wonderful Jewish lady actually became a believer in God the Creator, God who is provident, God who is just, God who is very good to us. And you know the doorway into that faith? I was pleasantly surprised and delighted. It was the 10 Commandments. And she said there was a moment when she was pondering them, and it completely dawned on her. You know, dawn, the sun rose, the light came. It completely dawned on her that this is the truth of the human being. To honor God who created us, and especially the social order it implies, because we come into life through our parents, and to honor our parents means we're not the source of ourselves, and it opens our heart to the living God, who is the ultimate source, because our parents weren't the source of themselves either. And it's recognizing in a very practical way, in a very healthy environment of home, of all that love parents give children. It's a marvelous linchpin, if you will, a keystone of the social construct, the social fabric of society. And then all the other commandments make so much sense, because if we're stealing from each other, how are we going to live in serenity and peace? And if we're lying to each other, and if we're out to kill each other or hurt each other, what kind of a society will we have? And if we don't respect the marriage of the others and tear it apart and respect each person. So the 10 Commandments for her were the doorway. Let's go over here to the new gate. For her it was a new gate. Isn't that a nice idea now? This is the new gate here. In an old city, how old would this gate be? Well, it's actually very new. It's only about 140 years old, the same age as Notre Dame and the St. Louis Hospital next door here. Also a French foundation. And it was open to allow access for the pilgrims from Notre Dame to go to the Holy Sepulchre and into the old city, the workers to come out and look after them. For the people to bring out their sick people to the hospital, for the nurses to come out and work here at the hospital. So this is 140 years old. So the 10 Commandments were a new gate for this lady to enter into the communion of all who believe in the Creator God, who was so wise to give us this law. And the first reading today celebrates how blessed the people are to receive this law. And that's wonderful. Now, the gospel reading, on the other hand, deals with an abuse of law. When we become legalistic and we add lots of prescriptions, sometimes with the best intention in the world, but it becomes a focus on the law and not on God, who gave us the law, who's inviting us into a relationship with Him. Just as the first reading says, isn't it marvelous to have God so close to us, who cares for us, who teaches us, who fills us with life? And that's the way to see the commandments. They are a place of contact for life. And we need that so much, because our life is so fragile. And we're remembering all of this here in Jerusalem. Can you imagine? I would like to have gone to another location in Jerusalem this morning, but my schedule doesn't allow me to do that, as we're having different meetings, and obviously in the morning time for prayer together. And so we have a tightened up schedule to be able to get some more done in the day, and today will be a day of more community life and activities together, fun activities together, having some nice relaxed time together. So that's our program for today. I'm just looking for something here for you. There, we got it. So blessed the people whose God is close to them. Blessed the people, blessed. The one who does justice will live in the presence of the Lord, because we also want to be close to God. And justice is about that, telling the truth, not lying to my spouse, to my children, to my parents, to my grandparents, to my neighbors. That's justice, because they expect me to say the truth. And then it's also justice that I don't steal, obviously. That's the first justice we think about, respecting the property of others. respecting the spouses of others. The one who does justice will live in the presence of the Lord, who doesn't exploit the others, who doesn't exploit the needy, who reaches out to help. If I'm blessed abundantly, I'm going to reach out and help others. What a way to live. And we go to the reading from the second reading from James, and it's so delightful. Every good gift is from above, coming from the Father of lights. And we see the sun, and that's just a little light from the Father of lights, with whom there is no alteration or shadow. He willed to give us birth by the word of truth, that we may be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Be doers of the word, not hearers only. So wouldn't that be a nice little goal for today? To think, how could I, for example, the commandment of my parents, maybe my parents are still alive, if they've gone on to eternal life, I can also say a prayer of thanksgiving to God for them and ask God, be sure to fill my parents' hearts with joy today. And I can do something, maybe something I have that actually belongs to somebody else, and I need to think about returning it now. It's time. They lent it to me in goodwill, and it's kind of overdue. I need to give it back to them. That does so much for nice relationships. It's such a very practical way to build good relationships. Look at all this. See, the traffic is increasing. People are going to work little by little. Trains are running. So people, we've got some homework for today. You look at the Ten Commandments and you thank God that they're a great outline of order in society, and especially in our place before God, honoring him, keeping holy the day of the Lord. And this is wonderful. It's so good to be here in Jerusalem. Thank you so much for joining this morning. God bless you. See you later, alligators.